What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. It's Wednesday, halfway through the week. It's almost August. Fed announcement today, but I expect a fat nuttin' burger once again. But we got an amazing video lined up for you. Imagine this. You're scrolling, and suddenly you see CNBC putting the spotlight on XRP. Not just to mention the spotlight, finally. But that's just the start. Because as this hits, Trump's out there turning up the pressure on Jerome Powell. And then you get the Ripple CTO himself, the man, the myth, the legend, David freaking Schwarz, just drops a bombshell that's making the XRP army lose their freaking minds. And it gets even wilder. Coinbase is dropping the hammer for brand new XRP futures, opening the floodgates for an entirely new wave of action. Honestly, if you've been waiting for that holy crap, I need to pay attention moment in crypto, this is it. We're about to connect all these dots, show you what's really moving behind the scenes, and reveal what nobody else is seeing yet. Trust me, you don't want to blink. Let's get into it, folks. Welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint, your home for all your crypto news and daily information. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. If you were coming back and are a returning visitor, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It is free. It is the ultimate best way to support the channel. The more thumbs up we get, the more YouTube pushes the content. The more YouTube pushes the content, the more viewers that we can bring in and help educate. Yesterday, the thumbs up didn't do so well. We got 6.7. That's my lowest. But maybe people were just sick of the headlines with the $1,000 XRP, right? No one wanted to watch it. The second video did okay. So hit that thumbs up. Let's jump into it because we got a lot to freaking cover. Bitcoin, $118,122. Ethereum, $3,781. XRP, $3.09. Total cryptocurrency market cap, 3.85 trillion. As you can see, a lot of red going around. We're going to get into that in just a tiny bit. We'll talk about the markets, what Bitcoin's doing, what we're looking at on Bitcoin, so you can be prepared. A lot of people think that Powell's coming out today like they did. Look, it's the same accounts every month, and every time there's a meeting from the Fed, they say, oh, he's going to cut rates. Doesn't happen. And then they come back the next month. He's going to cut rates. It doesn't happen. He's not cutting rates today. If we see rate cuts, September. If we see rate cuts, folks. As I told you, look, rate cuts needed to be done in June. At this point, even when he does cut rates, it's going to be one of those sell the news type of events. That's it. And look, if you're looking to join the Patreon, I'm going to link it below. 5 new charts went up yesterday. We did XRP, Bitcoin. We did Total 2, Total 3. I'm going to throw an altcoin up today. You'll know exactly where the markets are moving and going, shaking and baking. And if you want to go YouTube ad-free, all the new videos from this channel are going to be start posting on there today as well, or just become a YouTube member. Jim Cramer, he's calling H-bar a buy. You know what that means? That means it's not good news for H-bar. When this man talks, we run. We go the other way. Where is that little H-bar? I should have just searched for it at the top. Let's see what it's doing. Oh, I should have searched for it. I gone screwed up, everyone. Hold on. Let's look. H-bar. I know it just went up a little bit the other day. I went right by it. It's already down 5%. Thanks, Kramer. Thanks for doing this to H-bar. We appreciate your comments. Please stay away from our cryptos. Pakistan, to allow banks to buy and sell Bitcoin to accelerate adoption in the country. You love to see it. Let me get this. Did anyone catch this? This was on CNBC. I didn't catch it. So CNBC finally put the spotlight on XRP. You know what? It's about freaking time. They're talking hundreds of millions of dollars pouring in. Record-breaking numbers for the most successful fund ever. They're calling the XRP army, or they're calling us the XRP army, which we know we already are. And now the whole world is seeing it. But here's what's really got me. They stated, we saw the opportunity and we went all in on XRP derivatives. That's big money, big confidence, and even bigger conviction. Look, XRP, it's not just another coin anymore. It's a freaking movement. This is the kind of momentum that creates generational wealth. And guess what? We're just getting started. This is early days. You wait until those ETFs come out. Here, have just a quick listen. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, maybe like a minute, because we got a lot more to dive into.
On in cryptocurrencies. Joining me now is Sal Gilberti, the president and CEO of Teucrium Trading. This is an interesting development. You're one of the firms out there that runs a slate of ETFs, but one of them is a levered fund tied to the value of a big cryptocurrency, and that's XRP. Just what can you tell us about how much investor interest there is in XRP and, of course, a levered instrument to it?
Well, thank you, Don. There's enormous interest in XRP. They call it the XRP Army, and I realize they call it that for a reason. We launched this fund. It'll be 16 weeks tomorrow, and the money that's come in is quite extraordinary. Hundreds of millions of dollars have come in. It's our most successful fund. We're 16 years old today when I incorporated the company, coincidentally, and we've never seen a response like that.
How did you make the turn? Because the slate of
don't get me wrong, what they did about these future contracts, super cool. The big thing here is the spotlight from CNBC, but the bigger thing, you know what it's going to be, right? It's going to be the ETFs, the spot ETFs. And we get this, a whale just opened a 76 million Bitcoin long at 40x leverage. What do they know? Interesting, right? Here's the Bitcoin chart. Look, this is what we're looking at on this thing. Okay, let's keep it very simple. Can the price of Bitcoin go down? Of course, it can always go down. There is a CME gap chilling around about 114,000, give or take. We got a nice support level sitting around 115,000, but here's your ultimate breakout zone. We need to get above 123K. When 123K breaks, Bitcoin is on the road to its 130 to 140, and it's going to shoot up. That's what we are looking for in the month of August. So listen, if we get any kind of dump or any kind of sudden sell-off in the next few days, don't let it freak you out. This could actually be the last big shakeout before we finally see that bullish breakout that everyone has been waiting for. Here's why. In every bull run, there's a moment when the markets try to kick out as many weak hands as possible. That's what we call a shakeout. It's like the final stress test. So if you're still standing after this, guess what? You're about to be rewarded. Time is actually more important than price right now. I know everyone's glued to the screens waiting for some magical price to hit. But that's not it, folks. It's time in the market. You got to ride the ups. You got to ride the downs. You can't just have it one way. August, I'm expecting the markets to break out. I'm staying focused on the timing. I'm not obsessing over the exact price levels. If we see any ugly dips because people are not happy that the Fed, they don't cut rates today, or because the White House is actually going to release their policy on crypto policy and not a reserve, and the markets, react in a negative way, don't freak out. You either sit on your hands or you look to accumulate more. And David Schwarz, this is huge. I don't see anyone talking about this. This guy, Andrew, put this out. He goes, I know very people opinionated about this. I've been following XRP since 2014, so he's been following for quite some time. But he has some real questions, and we finally got real answers. He says Ripple has 300 plus bank partnerships, but after 13 years, shouldn't there be billions in daily on-chain volume? If XRP is volatile, why use it over stable coins for transfer? If volatility is not an issue because it's a bridge currency, what is the incentive to hold it? Are bridge currencies still necessary when stablecoins will cover most parts in the future? Why would giants like BlackRock use the XRP ledger for tokenization instead of building their own blockchain? Geopolitical risk as well. Well, David Schwarz jumped in here and broke this down, right? So for years, institutions have preferred to settle digital assets, all the transactions off-chain. And there's a good reason for that. Compliance and regulatory risk. It says you can't have a payment network where you might accidentally route funds through a bad actor. That's actually why Ripple can't even use the XRP Ledger DEX for enterprise payments yet, he says, right? But here's the bullish part. New features like permissioned domains are about to make on-chain institutional payments much more practical. and we're closer than ever to seeing real-world adoption. Then he addresses volatility. He says, why use XRP when stablecoins exist? Well, he says, here's the thing. Not all volatility is bad. For some use cases, price swings aren't a deal breaker. And for investors, the upside potential outweighs the downside risk. Plus, a bridge currency like XRP only works if people are willing to hold it, creating liquidity exactly when you need it. But what about the futures? Will stablecoins just make XRP obsolete as a bridge? He says not so fast, unless a single stablecoin becomes globally dominant, which is highly unlikely due to regulatory and judicial differences. There will always be a need for a universal bridge asset, especially as the world of tokenized assets expands. Then he addresses the question about like BlackRock and using XRP Ledger, or why won't they just, create their own network? David says simple. Interoperability is the future. Just like Circle didn't make USDC exclusive to one blockchain, institutions will want the flexibility to move assets across multiple networks. That's the only way tokenization truly scares. Then he talks about the geopolitical trust. David says the XRP ledger isn't run by a single US company. It's decentralized, open, and neutral. Ripple's enterprise solutions are licensed in multiple countries, but of course, some places will always push back against outside influence. That's just the reality of global finance. But everywhere else, trust is built step by step as the tech proves itself. So the bottom line, yes, progress. It's felt slow, but the groundwork is being laid for a huge wave of on-chain institutional adoption. When the pieces click into place, we're going to see volume and utility explode. Folks, those are massive comments right there. Those are some very, very thought out questions, not FUD either. These are real questions because he's right. If you got, and it's like over 800 banks and partnerships, where's the on-chain volume? Because it is not there. David breaks this all down. Should give us a little bit more peace of mind here. I'm ready for a massive 2025. You should be as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I'll catch everyone a little bit later in the next video. We got a lot lined up. Enjoy your morning and enjoy your Wednesday.